The rose. You see it, well, everywhere. Around Valentine's Day, you smell it in fancy perfumes. You probably think you know the Queen of Flowers pretty well. But today, we're doing a deep dive, really getting past those velvet petals to understand the sheer scope of this plant.
Yeah, our mission really is to move beyond just the romantic stuff. I mean, when you dig into the sources we looked at, the rose turns out to be incredibly complex. It's this multifaceted ancient bloom. It's been involved in wars. It's replaced vital nutrients.
And now inspiring high-tech electronics.
Exactly. It's got quite the story.
It really sets the scale right away. We're talking about something that's been around, based on fossil evidence anyway, for over 35 million years. It actually survived the ages.
Just incredible. And yet it's still completely relevant today. I mean, think about it. Even with that massive timeline, something like 250 million roses are produced every year just for Valentine's Day.
Wow.
So that mix, the ancient history and this huge modern consumption, that's kind of the perfect frame for what we're talking about.
Okay, so let's start there with its longevity and its diversity. Because when I think roses, honestly, maybe 10 kinds come to mind. Red, pink.
Right. But the genus Rosa actually has over 300 different species. And get this, more than 10,000 cultivated varieties.
10,000. That's huge. Massive biological investment there.
It really speaks to how adaptable it is. The plant's incredibly resilient. We found records of the largest rose bush ever recorded. It was in California. It reached over 18 feet tall.
18 feet. For a rose bush.
Yep. You don't usually picture a rose as like a towering giant.
No, you definitely don't. It completely reframes how you think about its hardiness. And speaking of hardiness, what about that famous story from Germany, the really old one?
Oh, yeah, the Hildesheim Cathedral rose. That's probably the ultimate proof of endurance. There's documentation suggesting a rose bush there on the cathedral walls has been alive, thriving for over 1,000 years.
1,000 years. It's still growing.
It's basically a living monument.
That kind of survival over a millennium, it really illustrates why this flower spread so successfully, doesn't it? Across cultures, from ancient Greeks and Romans right up to today. No wonder it's seen as definitive bloom.
Exactly. It's a real-world traveler. And its importance is, well, it's baked into global culture. You see the dedication in places like the Risotto Comunale in Italy. It's supposed to be the world's largest rose garden. Thousands of unique varieties.
And it's not just botanical status, it's political too, right?
Absolutely. It's been adopted as the national flower for several powerful nations, the U.S., England, Iran.
Right.
That really cements its status as the symbol of beauty, of heritage across continents.
Okay, so if we connect that history, that survival, to practical application, that's where it gets really interesting, I think. Moving from the garden maybe to the pantry, here's something that surprises most people. Roses are edible.
They are.
We only think of the smell usually, but the petals and the hips, that's the false fruit, right? They're used in teas, syrups, jellies, even desserts.
And the hips, the fruit part, their nutritional value is, well, historically it was major. Rose hips are absolutely packed with vitamin C plus E, B minerals, antioxidants.
So not just a garnish, not just a delicate flavor.
No. Critically important at times. Our sources pointed to World War II specifically.
Oh, right. Because citrus was hard to get.
Exactly. Imports were difficult, obviously. So that incredibly high vitamin C concentration in rose hips, people actively sought them out. They literally replaced citrus fruits in many wartime diets, especially across Europe.
That's amazing. A wartime nutritional hero, basically.
Pretty much. But then the rose also embodies the complete opposite end of the scale, doesn't it? Luxury obsession. We found details on the Juliet rose.
Ah, the famous one. Tell us about that.
Well, the Juliet is the commercial extreme. Took its breeder, David Austin, 15 long years to perfect that particular bloom.
15 years.
Yeah.
For one rose variety.
Yep. And that dedication, that labor, it came at a cost that's just, wow, hard to believe. The Juliet rose cost almost $5 million to breed.
$5 million.
Makes it one of the most expensive roses ever developed. It just shows the incredible economic value placed on getting that perfect scent, that perfect structure.
And that scent, that complexity is why it dominates the fragrance market, right? Rose oil is crucial in perfumes, cosmetics.
It is, but not all roses are created equal for fragrance.
So which species is the superstar?
That would be the damask rose, Rosa damascena. It's prized specifically for that really luxurious scent. This is the plant they use to produce the high-end essential rose oil and rose water, golab, as it's known in Persian culture.
Golab, okay. if it's supplying the global perfume industry, the scale of production must be enormous.
Oh, it is. The total world output of the oil and the concrete, that's like a solid flower wax they use just from the damask rose, estimated between 15 and 20 tons annually.
Tons, wow.
Mostly from Bulgaria, Turkey, and Morocco. That's a huge commercial footprint, all based on the subtle chemistry of its smell.
Okay, so if we can extract that kind of power for luxury goods like perfume, it really makes you wonder, what else is hiding inside the rose? Let's pivot now to the medicinal side, the therapeutic applications, because the science seems to back up a lot of the ancient traditional uses here.
Exactly. Our sources show that, yeah, various parts, fruits, flowers, leaves, even the bark have been used for centuries, treating inflammation, menstrual pain, diabetes, stress, even neurological issues like seizures.
What stands out from modern research on pain relief? Anything specific?
Yes, actually. A very targeted finding related to primary dysmenorrhea, basically, common menstrual pain. Studies showed that inhaling Rosa damascena essential oil, through aromatherapy was a beneficial adjuvant. That means it was a helpful supplement to standard treatments. It offered noticeable pain relief for women experiencing that.
That's pretty practical. What about bigger things like heart health? Did the sources mention any protective effects?
They did, specifically with Rosa rugosa. Extracts from that species have apparently been used clinically for preventing and treating coronary artery disease. But we need to get a bit technical here.
Okay, yeah.
The studies focused on something called myocardial ischemia reperfusion injury, or MIRI.
MIRI.
So in simple terms, MRI isn't the damage from the heart blockage itself, the ischemia. It's the secondary damage that happens when blood flow suddenly comes back the reperfusion, like after a heart attack treatment or surgery.
Ah, okay. So the rose extract helps protect against that shock when the blood flow returns.
That seems to be the idea. The flavonoids in the extract appear to help protect that heart tissue during that really vulnerable time. It's a powerful link between old practices and modern chemistry.
It really is.
And the targeted effects continue into metabolic health too, specifically diabetes.
Okay, how does a rose extract help with blood sugar?
Well, Rosa damascena extract was shown to inhibit an enzyme called alpha-glucosidase.
Alpha-glucosidase. Remind us what that does.
Sure. It's the enzyme in your gut that breaks down complex carbs into glucose, which then, spikes your blood sugar.
Got it.
So by inhibiting or blocking that enzyme, the rose extract suggests a way to potentially reduce those post-meal glucose spikes, slowing down sugar absorption. It's a potential natural way to help manage blood sugar.
Fascinating. And then there's the neuroprotective aspect. It's kind of remarkable that this simple plant could even affect the brain.
It is pretty amazing. Extracts showed anticonvulsant effects in lab models. They actually prolonged the time it took for seizures to start.
Wow.
And they also showed neuroprotective benefits against the kind of neuronal damage you see with seizures and also with cerebral ischemia, like stroke. It seems to act as a protective agent for brain cells against injury.
And then maybe the most common association, skincare.
Right. Extracts can help prevent skin aging caused by UVB radiation. Specific petals, like from Rosa gallica, have shown potential for skin whitening and anti-wrinkle activity. And of course, rosehip seed oil is pretty well known for helping with acne and speeding up wound healing. It's like a little natural pharmacy in a flower.
Okay, this is where, for me, it gets really wild. We move from natural chemistry to, engineered physics, high-tech biomaterials, connecting the petal's physical structure to cutting-edge tech. It turns out the rose petal is incredibly complex on a micro level.
It really is. It has what's called a hierarchical structure. So imagine this microscopic landscape. You've got larger bumps, microscale ones called papillae.
Papillae, okay.
But those papillae are covered in these incredibly tiny, intricate nanofolds. It's structures on top of structures.
And why do scientists care about that specific texture? What does it do?
Because that combination creates something researchers call antagonistic wetting properties.
Antagonistic wetting. Okay, that sounds very technical. Break that down for us.
Happy to. Basically, when water hits the petal surface, it beads up with high contact angles. That means the surface is hydrophobic water repellent. Like the famous lotus leaf effect.
Right, water rolls right off the lotus leaf.
Exactly. But, and this is the key difference, unlike the lotus leaf, water droplets stick intensely to the rose petal. They won't roll off even if you tilt it way over.
Huh. So it repels water, but the water droplet clings on for dear life.
Precisely. It's hydrophobic, but with high drop adhesion. It's this unique behavior they've dubbed the rose petal effect. And scientists are now really intensely focused on mimicking this structure for new technologies.
What kind of technologies are we talking about here?
Well, that hierarchical structure turns out to be great at anti-reflection and light harvesting,
Okay.
which makes the rose petal structure a really interesting candidate for things like next-generation organic solar cells, maybe graphene applications, ways to drastically enhance how efficiently they capture light.
And I read something about soft electronics, too, even medical tech.
Yes, absolutely. Researchers have successfully copied that rose petal structure to create ultra-sensitive capacitive pressure sensors.
Pressure sensors.
Yeah, and this is key for developing soft electronics and potential electronic skin or e-skin.
Electronic skin. That can replicate human touch and flexibility.
That's the goal. By copying the rose's structure, they can make sensors sensitive enough to pick up really minute changes in pressure. It's one way we're trying to bridge biology and robotics, essentially.
And the detail I found just completely mind-blowing was this idea of an electronic plant.
Oh yeah, that comes from work on Rosa floribunda. Scientists used it as a model plant, and they managed to integrate electronic function into the plant itself. They basically turned the stem into a functional wire.
How did they even do that?
They polymerize conductive hydrogel wires right inside the plant's natural vascular channels, the xylem, the tubes that carry water.
Seriously? Yeah.
Meaning the living plant itself became part of a soft electronic circuit.
From a 35-million-year-old fossil to a high-tech biocircuit, the rose just seems to contain everything.
It really does.
So let's wrap up by looking at the incredible symbolic weight this flower carries. It's been doing that for millennia.
For sure. We all kind of know the basic color code, right? Red for love, passion, yellow, friendship. White means purity, innocence. Pink for admiration, gratitude.
The Valentine's Day Co.
Pretty much. But the roots of this symbolism go way deeper.
Like in Greco-Roman tradition, it was linked to Aphrodite or Venus, wasn't it?
Strongly linked.
Yeah.
And there's the myth of Adonis, where his blood supposedly stained the white roses red after he was gored by a boar.
Ouch. Intense.
And in Iran, the Mohammadi rose and Golab, the rose water, their use goes back over 2,500 years. There it embodies divine perfection, light, mysticism.
And that influenced rituals too, right? Like sprinkling golab.
Yeah, in Zoroastrian traditions, golab was sprinkled on guests' hands and faces and into running water during festivals like Nowruz Anhar. It symbolized purification, respect for nature.
That symbolic power is just as strong in politics and religion too.
Absolutely. In Christianity, the rose became identified with the Virgin Mary. That connection led directly to the creation of the rosary, the prayer beads. And the 5 petals of the rose cross are said to symbolize the 5 wounds of Christ.
And in Islamic mysticism, Sufism.
There, the rose is often aligned with the beloved's blushing cheek, or represents the spiritual quest for divine love. You see it famously in classic literature like Sadi's The Rose Garden.
Politically, it's become almost a shorthand. For unity or resistance, the Tudor rose, for instance.
Right, created specifically to unify the warring red rose of Lancaster and the white rose of York, ending the Wars of the Roses in England, a very deliberate political symbol.
And it was used for quiet resistance, too.
Yes. When Germany banned socialist symbols under the anti-socialist laws, activists apparently started wearing red rosebuds instead of the forbidden red ribbons. That act marked the red rose as a political standard for the socialist movement.
And then, in stark contrast, you had the white rose.
Such a powerful story. The WWII Nonviolent Resistance Group in Nazi Germany, they chose the white rose precisely for its symbolism, purity, innocence standing against the regime's brutality and evil.
It's just layer upon layer of meaning. The ultimate cosmic connection, though, was maybe the most humbling detail I found.
Ah, you mean the interpretation of the Quranic verse?
Yeah, in the Ar-Rahman Surah. It compares the sky disintegrating on Judgment Day to a rosy flower.
Right. And that image, that description, has been strikingly compared to the actual appearance of the Cat's Eye Nebula as captured by the Hubble Space Telescope.
Suggesting the rose's visual identity somehow scales up to the entire universe. It's profound.
It really is.
So after all this, what's the big takeaway for you, for our listeners?
I think the core takeaway is that the rose is just the ultimate example of something that looks simple on the surface, you know, a pretty romantic flower, but holds this unbelievable world-changing depth. It embodies ancient survival, really complex biological engineering. It's played this pivotal role in global art, religion, medicine, and now it's literally inspiring the next generation of high-tech material science. It truly earns the title Queen of Flowers.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Given that this flower's inherent microstructure, something evolved over millions of years, is now sparking ideas for flexible electronics and better solar tech. Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other ancient common plants out there might be hiding equally transformative industrial secrets, just waiting for us to look closely enough?
A fascinating question.
Thank you for diving deep with us today.